Hey bottom pushers, my name is Nick and welcome back to the life and suffering of Sir Brante. This is going to be another short one. It's time to usurp Ulrich. So last episode we followed him into the way of the will and we stuck with him until the very end and things got wild. We got killed by the gods. They came down and killed us both. But then because I'd lucked my way into having so much willpower, I could essentially deny the gods completely in my judgment and became pretty much one of them, which was just wonderful. So this time we're going to do everything the same. So I'm going to cut a lot out. I'm going to start off at the beginning of peacetime, which is where we are now. I'm going to run through doing absolutely everything the same up until right at the end when we get a chance to betray Ulrich or kill Ulrich. So, and then we're going to do that and we're going to see what happens. So as I said, probably going to be quite a short one because I figure it's just going to be the end and then it might lead into the revolt because this might stop me from dying. I don't know, but we're going to find out. So for you, this is going to be a matter of seconds. For me, it's going to take me a while. And we have arrived at the triumph of the will. I still can't renounce Ulrich because my valor's not high enough, but I can overcome Ulrich's will because I have over 20 willpower and less than 12 valor. So low valor for the win, maybe. I'm going to overcome Ulrich's will, which means Ulrich is going to die by my hand, and then we'll see what happens after that. You gather all your strength to break free from your master. So am I still... Ooh, achievement! No. The end. You will not submit to his will anymore. You choke on your words. The collar is strangling you. Ulrich grits his teeth. Think again. Your disobedience is foolish. We are so close to our goal. No. You will accept his will no longer. Ulrich's gaze is cold and imperious. His voice reverberates in your head. Very well. I accept your renunciation. Die. You feel pain in your chest. Your heart skips a beat. Hot blood erupts from your mouth. The collar is closing around your neck. You cannot breathe. Do not resist. It will only prolong the agony. Your body goes limp. Every movement requires more and more effort. Is this really how you're going to die? No. The collar shatters into tiny pieces. You fill your lungs with air. Vigour streams into your arms and legs. There's no hesitation, no fear. Your path is clear. Nothing can stand in your way now. You dash towards Ulrich, grab him by the face and jam your thumbs into his eye sockets as hard as you can. Oh goddamn! A shriek of unbearable pain echoes around the room. You throw Ulrich against the wall. Die! Ulrich clutches at his chest, his face distorted with pain. A moment later, he slumps to the ground. The body remains in place. Your teacher has died a true death. The next day is like a dream. You stand trial. Jeanne defends you at the tribunal, using the papers from Eterna as evidence. She exposes Ulrich as a Willist heretic and a deadly menace. You are acquitted. You spend a few days at home, semi-conscious. The fight left you utterly drained. Your nights are sleepless. You watch the shining pillar from your window. Did the gods land that last blow? Or did you compel Ulrich to die by your own will? You cannot say. The news about Ulrich's death spreads throughout the city instantly. The people of Anazot are overjoyed, as though they have all removed their own steel collars and can breathe freely once again. The ruthless butcher of the Inquisition is dead. Ulrich's death has deprived the Inquisition of a number of privileges it had become accustomed to in recent years. Some of your fellow Inquisitors and champions of faith flee Margra, fearing the wrath of the nobility. You and Jen will lead the Order in Margra from now on. The power of the Inquisition is in your hands. Oh. Oh, that picture is just awful. You've rejected Ulrich's teachings and sent him to the judgment of the twins. I sure did. I might be able to sneak out another achievement here as well. Thinking about it, we'll find out. 8 years have passed since your return to Anazot. For 80 years you have served as an Inquisitor. For 80 years you have struggled, facing trial after trial. The young seminary student is no more. Only the you of today remains. All your actions, all your decisions have led to this moment. There is no more time for investigations and interrogations. You have done all you could. Today, on the eve of the Sacred Conclave, Will you be able to stop Cassius on his way to the Patriarchate, or will you have to step aside and bear witness to his victory? I'm going to wait for the Sacred Conclave and just let it all play out. You are painfully aware of your failure. You did your utmost, but your efforts proved insufficient. Tomorrow, Cassius will enter the temple by the Silver Tree once more. Once more, the clergy will grovel before him. Once more, the twins will gaze upon him, and the heretic will speak to them on behalf of his flock. Nothing will stop him. Won't it? Wrath of the Gods. Accompanied by Zhen, you approach the Temple of the Silver Tree. The square is full of people. You hear cheers, the din of the crowd, and applause. Today is the day of the Sacred Conclave. The nobility, clergy, and common folk tirelessly support the current patriarch with cheers and ovations. You and Jen have to force your way through the crowd to reach the temple gates. It seems nothing's changed, Niklaus. Everything is just as it was 8 years ago. Her words sound bitter. You have no reply for her. Before entering the temple, you touch the trunk of the tree, as usual. It is shockingly cold. There are over 100 people in the temple. All the clergy of Margaret is gathered here, from the abbots of Margaret's main temples to travelling preachers. Most of them wear the black robes of the Old Faith. In the far corner of the temple you can see several priests of the New Faith, but they are few and keep to the side. You and Jen take your place in the first row. People glance at you with distrust and contempt. When Cassius enters the temple, the gates are locked. Everyone falls silent. Looking at him, you can hardly recognise the man who became Patriarch 8 years ago. His forced humility has given way to self-assurance. His voice has become sterner and more severe. The people stand to greet the Patriarch. The white-clad priests of the New Faith rise last. The Patriarch greets the audience with a dignified bow, and everyone takes their seats. Cassius slowly ascends the stairs to the altar of the twins and kneels before their images. The words of his prayer echo throughout the temple. O heavenly lords, givers of life, the younger, defender of the world, judge and counsellor, the elder, the spirit of truth and love, filling all with your presence, we humbly abide by your law and by the 3 lots of Isatius. May the righteous attain eternal bliss, and may the sinners suffer retribution without mercy. Before your gaze, I hereby relinquish my authority as Patriarch. Allow your children to elect another to take my place. The air feels heavy, as though it's pressing down on you. The people remain motionless, holding their breath. An incredible, all-consuming silence falls over the room. In this silence, you can hear the faint patter of footsteps across the temple. The moment slowly passes. The illusion fades, and the air becomes light again. A staff taps against the tiles. Abbot Lennart approaches Cassius. You see despair in his eyes. We have seen their sign. The twins are with us now. I, Father Lennart, Abbot of the Temple by the Silver Tree, declare the Sacred Conclave open. Father Cassius, would you please join the rest? The cup is filled with white stones. An apostate will become Patriarch of Margaret. You feel so powerless. It makes you slightly ill. Then let the will of the Sacred Conclave be done beneath the watchful eye of the twins. Father Cassius shall be our Patriarch. He shall be our voice before the twins, and our mentor in this worldly realm. Before the image of the gods, I hereby accept the burden of the Patriarchate of Margaret. Cassius turns to face the images of the gods. Some priests rise from their seats and form a dense wall around him. This is not part of the ceremony. What are they doing? You hear the wrathful voice of Cassius above the confused murmur. So hear my voice, O gods, and in my voice hear those who follow me. I, the Patriarch of Margaret, speak on behalf of my congregation. From here to eternity, we reject your absolute will, your cruel love, and your merciless law. You have no more power over us. Your chains and your lashes are no more. You will quit this world at once. The agitated murmur turns to angry shouts, but the priests loyal to the Patriarch repeat his words as though they were a well-known prayer, their chorus drowning all other sounds. Listen, proud gods. Repeat after me, people. Your power is no more. Stop, you fool. Be silent. Repent your blasphemy. You will bring their wrath down upon you. Too late. You must stop this sacrilege before it's too late. With Jem by your side, you try to make your way to the Patriarch, but suddenly, the ground shudders beneath your feet. Unable to keep your balance, you fall to the floor. The walls of the temple are shaking. The lustrous decorations and heavy holy vessels come crashing down upon the priests' heads. You hear screams as the ground continues to rumble. The air is thick again. You cannot breathe. The earth shakes once more. The flames of the candles rise to the ceiling, then fall in a fiery rain that washes over the mutinous priests. Cassius is blazing like a torch. The glare is blinding. Fiery flashes fall upon the Patriarch one after another. His frenzied cries now screams of agony. The wrath of the gods knows no mercy. Oh, god damn, that's awful. The burning figures tear around the temple in an attempt to save themselves, but there's no salvation for them. Retribution is inevitable. Such is the law of the younger. Tears stream down Jen's face. She's kneeling in the middle of the crumbling temple, offering prayers to the twins. You close your eyes and bow before their will. Oh Jesus, I died again! I thought I was going to live. I thought that was going to get me an achievement, but it didn't get me an achievement. We get the stalemate ending. At least we actually got an ending this time. It means we'll get to see what happened to everyone as well. Oh, nope, just me. It's nothing. It's telling me nothing. That was disappointing. That was very disappointing. Wait, what? I did get the achievement. I did not see that pop up. When I'm editing this, I'll be able to see if it actually did or not. But in this current timescale, I did not see that, which is very upsetting because I love an achievement pop up. Won't it? Okay, well, I did get the achievement. In that case, it's not disappointing at all. It's great. Everything has worked out exactly as I wanted. Now to send myself to the foot of the pillar for eternal torment for the rest of time. While I'm thinking about it, I think there's one more thing I want to do in this video. So bear with me a second. So we still need to get all-powerful Ulrich, because we haven't done that one yet, and there is an achievement for that. And it kind of... We're in the Ulrich timeline, as it were, at the moment. So I'm going to run through everything again. I'm not going to join the Willists this time, but I'm going to keep focusing on building up Inquisition power. And hopefully we can get this, and Ulrich can become all-powerful and bend the city to his will. So once again, for you, this will be a matter of seconds. For me, I'm going to get comfy and start clicking through. I also feel like I don't need to care about trying to balance Inquisition power and Tolerance of Faith this time. I can just drive Inquisition power all the way out, because that's what I need. If bad events happen, bad events happen. That is not my problem. I mean, it is my problem, but at the same time, it's not my problem. As a quick update, we are at the Principle of the Will, and my Inquisition power is currently at 7, Tolerance of Faith is at 1. And I'm going to disagree, and I am not going to become a Willist. However, me and Ulrich will remain friends, unless I screw this up and he still ends up on the run, which hopefully he doesn't. The Path of the Will. So we have arrived. Inquisition power is 10, which has been kind of stressful trying to get to this point, and I've died 3 times. 3 times getting to this point. I didn't have a single death coming into peacetime, and now I've died thrice. You stand in the midst of the crowd by the Temple of the Silver Tree. Your long path ends here. Nothing can oppose the power of the Inquisition, neither the secular authorities nor the high-ranking clergy. Everyone in Margra knows your name. It's uttered with trepidation and fear. There is only one person who outshines you, Inquisitor Ulrich. He knows no mercy, he makes no concessions, he never strays from his path. Today, Ulrich, the embodiment of the Inquisition, is to judge the Patriarch of the province. No one dares to interfere. Patriarch Cassius has been chained to a stake, beaten mercilessly, in rags, almost unconscious. He is to be burned alive. He will not have a chance to speak. His congregation, so adoring just a while ago, will not have the courage to defend him. They're too fearful of the almighty Inquisition. His fate has been decided. There was no need for a sacred tribunal, no need for a lengthy hearing and carefully collected evidence. These are but formalities, and by Ulrich's will, the Inquisition no longer needs them. In the middle of an enormous sea of people, surrounded by Inquisitors and Champions of Faith, Ulrich seems invincible. His unnaturally loud voice resounds over the square. People of Anazot, for far too long Patriarch Cassius has poisoned us with his falsehoods. Beneath the mask of a God-fearing priest hides an apostate, a heretic, a renegade. Today, the Inquisition will remedy the error of the clergy that allowed this heretic to become Patriarch. They will be punished for their error. The Sacred Conclave will no longer have the right to elect the Patriarch. Henceforth, this shall be the sole right of the Inquisition. Silence. All you hear is Abbot Lennart's lone cry. You cannot do this! The Patriarch must be elected by his flock! He must earn the trust of those who follow him. Ulrich grins. This land is soaked in lies and filth, Abbot Lennart. The heretic you see behind me was chosen by the clergy of Magra. If your priests proved blind enough to not discern his heresy, how could mere lay people unmask such an apostate? No, this is a burden the Inquisition must bear, to cleanse the cursed land of Magra of all heresy, and so it is my burden too. I must lead this holy conquest. Ulrich raises a torch above his head. You will bow before my will as you bow before theirs. You will obey my law as you obey theirs. You will accept my love as you accept theirs. Ulrich's words echo repeatedly over the square. He throws the torch onto the pyre. The flames are instantly ablaze. The crowd freezes. In his last moment, Cassius screams with all his might. Do not tolerate the will of another over you. Fight. There is no mercy in the prison of the twins. Only cruelty. Okay, so far this has been exactly the same as if I was a Willist, so maybe he's still going to die, but I get to live. The deposed Patriarch's body squirms in the fire. The entire crowd seems to turn to stone, paralysed by the sight of his death. Terror is on their faces. Ulrich steps forward and raises a collar over his head. You, the sinful flock of a wayward Patriarch, kneel and accept your new sacrament, not that of the sword or the lash, but of the collar. For I give unto you a new lot, the lot to serve my will. You will no longer have the freedom to violate it. From now on, no other will exists for you but my own. I shall become for you both love and law. I shall lead you up the narrow, yet straight path to the very peak of the shining pillar. For you, I shall become both the elder and the younger made flesh. A peal of thunder echoes his words. The sky darkens. The ground shakes beneath your feet. Unable to keep their balance, the people fall to the ground, shrieking and crushing each other. Blasts of air blow in their faces. The wind wails in the branches of the silver tree like a furious howl. You hear the sound of a measured tread. One step, another, and another. My will is the own... Ulrich chokes on his own words, as if an invisible knot had tightened around his throat. He claws at his neck, scratching it until it bleeds. Then he falls to his knees. My will. The pyre behind him rises up in a whirlwind of flame and comes crashing down upon the Inquisitor. Overcome by reverent awe, the people fall to their knees. The flames subside. All that remains are smouldering embers. Oh, the twins are real mad. Achievement. So I don't think I'm going to do the revolt. I want to see the setup for the revolt, and then I'll just jump through it and we'll see the kind of what happened there.
Which would decide my fate.
Shush. The revolt begins. The power the old faith once held over Anazot dissipated along with the ashes of Ulrich and Cassius. The news that an Inquisitor was annihilated by the wrath of the twins themselves has shaken the trust the people once had in the Order. The execution of the apostate Patriarch has caused great turmoil in Magra. Commoners, clergy, nobles, no one knows what to believe anymore. Abbot Lennart stubbornly continues to guide the new believers alone. Countless citizens have joined him since Ulrich's defeat. What more proof is needed to show you that we are right? The Inquisition and Cassius tried to fight the twins and failed. The old faith is dead. As Patriarch, I, Lennart, will lead you to the true teachings of freedom from the lots. The entire Empire will eventually follow Magra on this path. Hordes of new believers occupy the temples, squares, and streets. They're joined by disaffected citizens, conspirators, and heretics of all stripes. Thanks to your efforts, the Inquisition has retained considerable power. But since the fateful day when Ulrich was burned alongside Patriarch Cassius, the Order has been forced into a defensive position. So... okay. I am the defender of the Empire. I wondered if it was going to side me with the Empire, and it has. I don't need to care about the outcome of this. We've done all of the possible outcomes for the revolt, so we'll just see what happens, I guess. I'm going to end this in a way that I haven't ever ended this before. I'm going to die for my home, because the ending really doesn't matter at this point. And I've never done this before, so I want to see what happens. So I'm going to see Hearthenholm. A group of rebels have come to the Brante house demanding judgment and justice. So I'm going to fight alongside them and die, because why not? There are too many enraged thugs. You're doomed, but the Brante family will not surrender without fight. You walk out the front door to face your death with dignity. Take him alive. That one there's Judge Brante. Let's give him a little taste of our judgment right now. The maniacal looters charge at you. Father takes the first of them down with a few swift lunges, but new thugs immediately take their place. You fight with all your might, but you can't hold back such a frenzied mob. You're knocked to the ground and bound. They all come at you, kicking and punching. You writhe on the ground, hearing your family scream, but you can't help them anymore. The old leader leans over you. You shouldn't have resisted us, you fool. Now you'll be the last to die. You watch your whole family die before your very eyes. You're dragged back into the house. You try to struggle, but your body will not obey. You feel blood dripping from your mouth. The family screams echo throughout the house. Nicholas, son, where are you? You try to answer, but you don't have the strength. The end of the world is nigh. No one can stop us anymore. Not the nobles, not the priests, not even the twins themselves. In our final hours, we're taking power into our hands. Feel our wrath. Brante family, we hereby sentence you to true death by fire. The old man's supporters hurl torches through the windows. The flames engulf the building in a matter of seconds. You can barely see through the smoke. Our verdict has been carried out. We've punished the nobles. Well, off we go. Our campaign has just begun. Is this the end? Your home, your family, your hopes and dreams? Will they all go up in flames? One by one, the screams of your loved ones fall silent. The tree in the front yard that once protected you and Nathan from the midday heat is now a massive torch. The attic where Gloria used to hide to secretly write her poetry crumbles in a torrent of sparks. The dining room where Stefan used to entertain high-ranking guests is consumed by the blaze. The bedroom where you saw your parents' faces for the first time is in flames. Your memories help you bear the searing pain of the fire once it finally reaches you. The smoke soon fills your lungs. You cannot breathe. The groan of your house as it comes crashing down around you is the last sound you hear. Your life and suffering have come to an end. You're whisked away towards a blinding light. Oh, Roberts, true death. Lydia, true death. Stefan, true death. Gloria, true death. Nathan, true death. Me, true death. Yeesh. Oh, that was grim. I mean, I don't know what I expected, because I actively chose for everyone to die, but it was still grim. It's obviously stalemate outcome of the revolt. Oh, we're jumping straight to what became of me. Okay. And this is going to be exactly the same, isn't it? Yeah. So, literally, words that mean nothing. Time to go to the foot of the pillar again. Nah, I'm going to go to the peak this time. I deserve it. Well, I'd say this has been another reasonably successful run, and actually this has probably not ended up being as short as I thought it was going to, because we got quite a few things ticked off. So we still have 16% of the achievements left to get, so only another 14 left to go, which is not bad. So the next one we're going to get, which is going to be... I don't actually think it will be that much of a challenge, but I'm going to have to restart from youth, is converting Jen to the new faith. So I need to side with the new faith in youth, build that up to the point where in the revolt I can win and defeat Jen, but I also need to maintain relationship with Jen enough that I can convert her to the new faith at that time. So I need to, I think it's 2 relation with her. I need to make sure I'm still at a 2 at that point, and I have maximum theology. So it should be doable, but it's just going to be a bit of setup for that. But that is going to be the next one. So, if you want to check this game out for yourself, then the link to the game page is in the description. If there's anything in particular you want to see, or you think I might have forgotten, then let me know. Leave me a comment. Thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, then why don't you go ahead and hit the like button, the giant pillar of vengeful flame that is the subscribe button. Make sure you that bad boy. And until next time, love you, bye.